People across the country are reacting to Friday's Supreme Court decision that ended the federal right to an abortion.
Protests erupted in multiple cities after justices overturned Roe v. Wade. From outside the highest court in Washington to the streets of Los Angeles, dozens of cities in between those two destinations, people came out to make their voices heard. And lawmakers in some states are now promising action to protect women's reproductive health. A group of 22 state attorneys general issued a joint statement reaffirming their commitment to protecting abortion rights. It says in part, quote, "If you seek access to an abortion and reproductive health care, we are committed to using the full force of the law to support you. You have our word." California Attorney General Rob Bonta joins us now. Mr. Attorney General, thank you very much for joining us. I am curious, what do you and the other attorneys general who issued this statement plan to do to prop up, bolster, expand abortion rights in your state, especially given that you may have a lot of additional patients coming in?
Well, we wanted to come together and speak with one voice about the AGs across the country, the states across the country that continue to fully recognize the right to reproductive health care and the right to an abortion. And here in California, we've been at work for months preparing for this moment, hoping for the best with the Dobbs decision, but expecting the worst. And we have a set of laws that we're working on. I'm sponsoring a number of them to protect individuals who seek reproductive health care and an abortion from civil liability, from criminal prosecution, also making sure that it's clear that in California, pregnancy loss is not criminalized. We're working on a state constitutional amendment to enshrine the right to an abortion and reproductive health care in our state constitution. We're also investing $125 million in expanding access to reproductive health care and abortion throughout the state of California, including preparing for those who are in states where abortion is now banned to come to California to seek their right to reproductive health care. So we've been very active, very busy, expanding and doubling down on access to an abortion and to reproductive health care. To your point, calling California a safe haven for reproductive rights and those in other states may be legally tricky. I mean, it's my understanding there's still some gray areas when it comes to who can and can't travel across state lines to receive abortions, to help those, receive abortions. Do you plan to look into right away the legality of all of this? Because, when it comes to abortions, time is of the essence, of course. And so there are a lot of women, as we speak, who need answers to these questions. We've been examining the legal repercussions of our positions for months as we've prepared. We continue to believe we're on solid legal ground for every action that we're taking, every step that we're taking in pursuit of the right to reproductive health care, right to an abortion. The right to interstate travel is enshrined in our U.S. Constitution. No less an authority than Justice Kavanaugh restated that in the Dobbs decision. So people, pregnant people, women have the constitutional right to travel across state lines. They're welcome to come to the state of California to receive reproductive health care and an abortion where it is fully legal, where I will use the full force of the law and the full authority of my office to protect access to an abortion and reproductive health care, always, period, full stop. But Mr. Attorney General, a part of the legal confusion surrounding this ruling is, you're right, interstate travel was explicitly protected. However, if the woman returns to a state where it is illegal, isn't it possible that they could face a criminal investigation? That's my understanding, but I guess the details have yet to be sorted out. I mean, what would be your advice to a patient worried that, yes, their rights are supported in California, however, you cannot protect them once they go back home? On the criminal side, we believe that it's very clear that the criminal statutes end at the borders of that state. They are fully enforceable and subject to prosecution within a certain state. But once you leave the boundaries of that state and go to another state, that other state's criminal laws kick in and come into effect, and the long arm of the initial state cannot reach to the second state. That state, if it's California, there is no criminalizing of reproductive health care, of abortion, and so it is fully legal. And if someone gets an abortion in California, when it is fully legal, we do not believe they can be criminally prosecuted while they were exercising their constitutional right to interstate travel once they return to their home state. So will there be challenges? There well may be. And we might need courts to declare what I just said. Maybe they'll come out differently, but we've done our research and we believe we're on very solid legal ground when it comes to this.
All right, California Attorney General Rob Bonta, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.